Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We're playing as the WWF in the year 2001, but more importantly, we are booking the invasion angle. We have a couple locker room incidents as well as some things that I felt like I should have told or should tell you guys. Or that was interesting at least. So, at last SmackDown episode, there was a decision at the end of the episode that I didn't want to show off because I was worried that it would spoil some new hires that I was bringing in. But that decision was indeed one of our drug testing policies, as Raven, who is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, was identified as a hard drug user. So unfortunately for Raven, despite that I had plans for him and all that, I had to send him to rehab. What was interesting though was Raven didn't get mad at us, or he wasn't really happy with our decision either. It was just whatever. And I believe he's only in rehab for like 4 months, which is kind of shocking to me because I believe it's like 6 months for rehab. So I don't know why, if that had anything to do with it. Also, this was in Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. It's also returned in 2016, obviously. I don't know if it was in 2010 or anything. I never played those ones. But they like to run like little polls where fans will get to vote on a certain thing, like who's the sexiest girl, who's the best technical wrestler, so on and so forth. And Kurt Angle won one of those polls. He was voted as the best overall worker in wrestling today. So that's a pretty good, yeah. Also, unfortunately, the trainer of Triple H and many other wrestlers, Killer Kowalski, has passed away in the game at the age of 72. Unfortunately for Killer Kowalski. Not that I was ever going to do anything with him, but he's a big prominent name that I figured you guys would like to know if he was alive or not, or if he ever did pass away. Either way, we did have some locker room incidents. Our first locker room incident was Triple H pulling a tasteless rib backstage. A rib basically is just a prank, so basically he pulled a tasteless prank on some wrestlers. And I gave him a slap on the wrist, and his attitude actually worsened, which means to me that the only way Triple H would have been okay with everything is if I just didn't do anything at all. But at the same time, if you pull a tasteless prank on somebody, I mean, I'm not going to yell at you because whatever, it was just a prank. It was all fun and games. You didn't really mean to hurt somebody's feelings. But at the same time, it's like, all right, it was tasteless, so, maybe not do that again, like a simple slap on the wrist. Triple H, though, has an ego that he never sees him do anything wrong, apparently, in this game. And he's starting to piss me off, nerds and geeks. He keeps this up. I might just release his ass. I look at it like this. Where are you going to go? New Japan Pro Wrestling? That's about it. I'm not worried. There's no WCW. There's no ECW. Where are you going to go? That can afford you. Exactly. Also, Brian Clark and Paul Heyman both have heat with the locker room because they have a selfish attitude. I gave them both a stern warning, but nothing happened from it. So it's just a simple, hey, you know what, knock the attitude off. There's no reason to be selfish. You're not that high, especially you, Brian Clark. And then Canyon, the current WWF Hardcore Champion, was brought to locker room court for not going out with the boys, or going on a night out with the boys. So Judge Rock found him guilty, and he was sentenced to buying everybody drinks for the night, and Canyon's behavior apparently improved of that. Again, I think I've mentioned this before, but I would have been pissed. I'd have been like, what? That's bullshit. I just didn't want to go out. I was tired. But, whatever. I'm not complaining either. If his behavior's improving, we're awesome. Also, Charles Robinson, Little Nate, my personal favorite referee, he was also brought to locker room court, but it's not for not going out with the boys. It was because he's been complaining and just bumming everybody out. So Judge Rock sentenced him to cheer up or shut up and to buy the boys drinks. So we're going to get fucked up tonight, nerds and geeks. Drinks are on Canyon and Charles Robinson. Hell yeah. Also, Charles Robinson's behavior did improve because of that incident. Either way, don't have much else to talk about outside of the game, so let's go ahead and run the show. We have a total of 4 pre-show matches. Our first pre-show match is about that had terrible wrestling, or it was just a terrible pre-show match in general. Doesn't really say terrible wrestling. Gregory Helms defeating the one Billy Gunn with a vertebreaker with a D+. Billy Gunn was off his game, but that's whatever. Even though he was off his game, he had a whole plus over Gregory Helms. The interesting thing about this match, and I had never seen this before, so it's probably a new feature, is Billy Gunn was going to complain. It said it itself. Like, Billy Gunn was about to complain about this match, or the booking of this match, but apparently he saw Gregory Helms cracking his knuckles and, just looking intimidating, to where it changed Billy Gunn's mind. Now, I honestly think that's cool because it kind of, gives these people, these wrestlers with egos, kind of like, a little gut check, a little, some reality, a reality check, because it's not always about you. Sometimes you got to put over the young guys and help them get over, and I think that's pretty cool. But at the same time, I don't understand how Gregory Helms, of all people, was intimidating. No offense, I just shocked me. Nothing happened out of the match, no skills improving on or anything. We then go to a C in a poor pre-show match. Matt Hardy and Lita defeating Jerry Lynn and Chyna when Matt defeated Jerry Lynn with the Twist of Fate. And any worker improvements? Chyna's improving in Rumble and Lita's improving in Technical. We move on. We go to a C+ in a decent pre-show match. William Regal defeating Al Snow in 10 minutes and 9 seconds with the power of the punch. Wow, Regal with a B-. Good for you. Al Snow with a C-. Regal is improving in performance, and then we go to our main event of the pre-show, which gets a B? Wow. A B? This could have been on the show. Holy crap. Wouldn't have made sense to be on the show, but wow, that's a B? I wasn't expecting that. We have a decent pre-show match. Wow, a B. And a decent pre-show match. Chris Benoit and Edge defeating Big Show and Perry Saturn when Benoit defeated Perry Saturn by submission with a crippler crossface. Saturn was the weak link during the match. He was struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. Benoit and Edge have great chemistry when teaming together, so that honestly probably helped this match out. And it looks like Benoit was the superior. Oh no, Big Show with the B, so not too far behind. Edge is improving in Technical, and Perry Saturn's also improving in Technical. And that's going to end off the pre-show, so if you nerds and geeks like to stay surprised, if you like to kind of be shocked, I'd advise you to either click on a new tab and just listen, or close your eyes and just listen, because the opening segment is, it's going to show some things that I would rather not show off right away, but I can't affect it because of the game. If you put them in an angle, it happens. So there are some new debuts happening up next, so I'd advise you guys to close your eyes if you care enough for a little bit of a surprise. Either way, we start off with a C+. Huh. I expected this to get a little better. A C+? Huh. Either way, Monday Night Raw, starting off with Vince McMahon in the middle of the ring, and he says, hold on. Welcome, everybody, to Monday Night Raw. Now, before we start the show, I've got some big news. As some of you may have noticed, good old JR is sitting at the announce table by himself. Now, usually, Paul Heyman sits beside Jim Ross, but I think we can all agree that there's only one team who can call the action here on Monday Night Raw. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome back Jerry the King Lawler. And then the King makes his return. He makes his way down to the announce table, of course, waving to the fans on his way down there, carrying his crown, goes to shake Mr. McMahon's hand, and then he sits and takes his seat. Before we have Shane McMahon's music hit, we hear Here Comes the Money, and he comes out alongside Booker T, and he says, "Aw, how sweet. Please, everyone, give it up for the King." But, Dad, I've got some bigger news. You see, you were right, sadly. You were right. Sadly, you've taught me everything I know, and there isn't much that I can do to surprise you. Or can I? You see, Dad, I went ahead and I hired somebody who knows you in a business way very well. But, and we can get rid of all this stuff now. He says, but when it comes to business and him, you're completely in the dark. Allow me to welcome my new advisor. And then we hear, woo! As Ric Flair's music hits, and we just have JR and the King shocked. And then Shane McMahon goes, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And I just imagine Vince McMahon in the ring with like his jaw on the ground as Ric Flair makes his way out to the entryway. He takes a mic and he says, Shane, first of all, I want to thank you for not only keeping WCW alive, but for keeping this war alive. And Vince, oh Vince, if you could only see the look on your face right now. Vince, remember this day, because today is the beginning of the end for the WWF. Woo! And then his music hits, and I just imagine JR and King are putting over like, Ric Flair's on the WCW side. While Vince McMahon is just in the ring, and we see Flair, Booker T, and Shane walk to the back. So yes, we have Jerry the King Lawler returning on commentary. Helps out a little bit because we always get that negative. So JR and Jerry the King Lawler have great commentary chemistry together. And Shane McMahon also bringing in Ric Flair. We've seen the past couple, or last week we saw that Vince McMahon kind of got the upper hand on Shane, pretty much saying, you know, I'm not dealing with your crap no more. He knows Shane's from the back of his hand, so he kind of sees what Shane's coming. So Shane went ahead and hired someone that wouldn't see anything, you know, Vince wouldn't see coming. So Jerry Lawler got a below average on his old school heel gimmick, but that doesn't really matter. The Nature Boy getting a rating, or Ric Flair getting a rating of very good on his Nature Boy gimmick. And apparently this got the crowd hotter. I don't know how. It's a C+. Ric Flair's improving in acting. Now that we have Ric Flair, though, I want to see if Ric Flair really has... No negatives. Just the locker room, as always. Of course, the locker room's even worse now because of the freaking... all the incidences we had. But I also did another Clear the Air segment, so that hopefully will help a little bit. Yeah, I did lose heat. I figured a C+, that's pretty bad. We then go to our next rating, which gets us a D+. We're back from commercial break, and Jamie Noble's in the ring. He's issuing an open challenge, talking himself up. He's telling the crowd that he's the toughest SOB in the WWF and the baddest redneck that you'd ever meet. And whoever dares to come out here and accept his challenge is going to have a bad, bad day. And then the returning Rikishi's music hits. Rikishi has been injured. He has returned to the company, and his music hits, and he's the one who is going to accept Jamie Noble's challenge. We do have some things here. We have a heel. He was a heel. We're going to turn him to a face. He's now switched to his Happy Go gimmick, and the gimmick has got an initial rating to a very good. And the turn was also a complete success. So there we go. Rikishi is a face, and he goes on to have a C- with Jamie Noble in an extremely short match. Rikishi defeating Jamie Noble in 2 minutes and 41 seconds with the Rump Shaker. Just a match to say, welcome back, Rikishi. Also, Rikishi's improving in Rumble and performance. That's awesome. Interesting enough, though, Jamie Noble had a D+, not too far from Rikishi's in-ring performance. We then go to a B. This helped out a lot. Unfortunately, it doesn't boost the invasion angle. But we have a B segment here. WCW, of course, they're all just backstage. They're all partying. We have Lance Storm, DDP, the WCW Tag Team Champions, Palumbo and O'Hare, and of course Canyon. They're all partying, and Book, he's not too happy with this party. He goes over, he grabs Ric Flair and turns around. He goes, "Look, dog, I'm glad you're here to help and all, but what the hell are we gonna do about Kurt Angle and my United States Championship?" And Ric Flair responds, "Baby, baby, baby, you need not to concern yourself with the United States Championship. You let old Ric Flair take care of that." And then Book says, "The hell are you talking about, sucker?" And Flair says, "You're the WCW World Champion, baby. Woo! And take it from the man who made the United States Championship what it is. And when I say that you're above the U.S. title, you need to focus on the world title. You need to focus on Chris Jericho at SummerSlam. You let the Nature Boy worry about Kurt Angle. The only time you need to think about Kurt Angle is tonight when you team with DDP to face Angle and Jericho tonight. And hey, you make sure you send Chris Jericho a message. You got that?" And then Book goes, "You know, you're right. I am the face of WCW. I'm above the United States Championship. I'm above Kurt Angle, and I'm above Chris Jericho. So tonight, I'm going to show them exactly who Booker T is." And then Ric Flair goes, "That's right, baby. Woo!" And that just ends it off. This also got the crowd hotter. I still wish the invasion angle would have improved in this. Shane McMahon is developing better in performance, so that's awesome. We then go to a B-, and we have Kevin Kelly, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time, The Rock." And Rock grabs the mic, and he says, "Kevin Kelly, get your monkey ass out of here and give The Rock the mic." Kelly hands over the mic, and he says, "Now piss off." And then just Kelly walks away, and Rock says, excuse me, DDP. You like to get in The Rock's bad side, don't you? First you cost The Rock the WCW World Championship, now The Rock understands. I got hiccups now, that sucks. You're just defending your territory. No problems with that, The Rock would do the same thing. But then, you got involved in a Rock's match on SmackDown. And you talk about this People's Champ versus People's Champ. DDP, you're not a people's champ, you're the people's chump. You see, The Rock don't care if the WCW faithful loved you, because The Rock guarantees that if The Rock went over to WCW, there would be a new people's champ. DDP, you will always live in The Rock's shadow, and now you're trying to hang on to that last bit of relevance that you hold by clinging on to the rock star. You know, what does DDP even stand for? Are you a Dungeons and Dragons player? If so, DDP, what is your class? And then we have to pull up here. We go to, oh boy, I never deleted all this. Go to our next promo. And he says, are you a barbarian? No. Are you a paladin? No. What about a sorcerer? Are you a sorcerer? Now, The Rock doubts that. You know, The Rock knows what you are. You see, DDP, you are a grade A bottle of Dallas cow crap. And you know what? You're from Jersey? Things just keep getting worse for you, doesn't it, DDP? And it's going to keep getting worse because at SummerSlam, you go one-on-one with the Great One, and The Rock promise you that he's going to take your ass down the Know Your Role Boulevard, check it into the SmackDown Hotel, and The Rock is going to beat your monkey ass all over New York City. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. So just a simple promo from The Rock on Diamond Dallas Page. Honestly, not the best. That Dungeons and Dragons reference may not be the funniest in the world either, but you should have seen me and my buddy Chris trying to think of something funny to make DDP stand for, and that's honestly the best I could come up with. If any of you guys actually have any funny things you can make Diamond Dallas Page stand for that you can see The Rock calling him, let me know, because I'll probably abuse that. Either way, Rock looked good in this segment. It continued the Rock DDP storyline, and yeah, nothing really too special. Just a way to continue the storyline. We then go to a C match, and about that at Subpar Wrestling in a little heat, the Natural Born Thrillers defeating Kai and Tai when Funaki was disqualified after Matt Hardy ran in and attacked Chuck Palumbo, and we also had Jeff Hardy run in and attack Sean O'Haire. So the Hardys getting a little bit of revenge. You know, usually we see the Thrillers attacking the Hardys. This time, the Hardys come out and attack the Natural Born Thrillers. And, yeah, nothing too special with this match, just a way to get it moving on. Then we go to a C+ as the Natural Born Thrillers manage to escape the Hardys' assault, and they begin to backpedal up to the ramp when Matt Hardy takes the mic and he says, you know, I think I finally got you two figured out. You two are scared of the Hardy Boys. You're scared. That's why you always jump us when our backs are turned. And you know, actually, when you step in the ring with us, that's why you always have some other punks come out to ensure that you're not embarrassed by the Hardy Boys. You know, it's fitting that you represent WCW because you two are just a bunch of little bitches. And I'd imagine the Natural Bone Thrillers at this point are just, you know, they're kind of like at the ramp and they're like pissed, kind of like screaming at the, you know, we're not bitches, blah, 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 you know, like angry that they just called them that. And then Matt says, oh, did I offend you? Well, if you two want to step in the ring with us so bad, then why not? Why not just one more match for those WCW tag team titles at SummerSlam? But how about this time we do it the Hardy way? How about this time we have a ladder match? Or are you two too afraid to face us again? Why don't you two man up and prove to these people that Sean O'Haire and Chuck Palumbo aren't afraid to get hit? And then I just imagine Natural Bone Thrillers kind of look at each other, they shake their heads no, and they just kind of do like, you know, the whatever symbol, like get out, I don't even care, and then just walk to the back. And then Matt Hardy says, that's what I thought. Just like WCW, you tuck your tails between your legs and you walk in the back when the going gets tough instead of facing us like a man. And simple as that, and just a way to kind of continue this storyline along while, you know, furthering what we're going to most likely see at SummerSlam. No worker improvements, unfortunately, though. I'm pretty sure I clicked next, but whatever. We then go to a C+. Wow, this was a short match, and it got a C+. I'd be interested to see what happens if I made this match longer. In a poor match, Dean Malenko defeating Chavo Guerrero Jr. in 6 minutes and 49 seconds with the Texas Cloverleaf. Nothing too special here, just Malenko getting a victory over a WCW guy. We then go to a D, where Dean Malenko is celebrating after his victory, when once again, Gregory Helms races out to the ring and attempts to attack Dean Malenko from behind, but this time, Dean saw it coming, and he counters, trying to lock in the Texas Cloverleaf before Chavo Guerrero pulls Gregory Helms out of the ring. Malenko then grabs the mic and he says, "You know, Helms, I've been doing a lot of thinking. And as the current WWF Light Heavyweight Champion and a former WCW Cruiserweight Champion, I can say that not only are both titles prestigious in their own right, but they're bigger than any two men. They're bigger than the both of us. Now, I know WCW's plan. They want to capture all the gold, so I'm going to give you a chance to get all the gold. At SummerSlam, you put the Cruiserweight title on the line, I'll put the Light Heavyweight title on the line. And like I said, these titles are bigger than just two men. So why don't you go find two more Cruiserweights who have held that championship, and I'll go find two more Light Heavyweights who have held this championship, and we'll have ourselves a six-pack challenge at SummerSlam to determine who is the true champion of the lightweight or Cruiserweight division." And I would imagine Gregory Helms not saying much, just kind of looking at Dean Malenko while he just tosses the mic down and stares at him with the, Jerry Lawler and Kingpin over. Well, the challenge has been issued, but will we see the match still? Because it's not a confirmed thing. This did cool the crowd a little bit, unfortunately, but again, I'm honestly, even when I booked this show, me and my buddy Chris kind of joked about the show, like, wow, this kind of looks like the current Raws on TV, which are pretty bad. But this really isn't my favorite show I've ever booked, but it's got to, you just got to continue these storylines. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is mostly just a way to continue some storylines, and so on and so forth. So we can then go to a C-. Backstage, we see Lance Storm and Kanyon talking, the WCW Canadian champion and the WWF Light or Hardcore champion, excuse me. And Kanyon says, I know that we're trying to capture all the WWF titles, but man, I'm starting to regret going after this Hardcore title. Did you know over the weekend I had to defend this damn title 9 times? 9 times! Who even finds a referee over the weekend? It's bad enough I got that stupid big dumb Texan Bradshaw breathing down my back, or my neck, but I've got to constantly watch my back. And then Lance Storm laughs and he says, "If you're really that worried about Bradshaw, then I'll go out there and I'll take care of him for you." And then Kanyon says, "You really do that for me? Thanks, man." And then that's really just about it. That leads us to our next match, which is a B-. Wow. And a B-, we have a bout that had decent wrestling, but not much weight and heat. Bradshaw defeating Lance Storm with a clothesline from hell following interference from William Regal. So again, Regal getting a little bit of vengeance on Lance Storm for costing him a match against Benoit on SmackDown. The way I'd like to see this match happening is Regal, hits Lance Storm with the power of the punch. Lance Storm maybe, like a little woozy before going down, either getting hit by that punch, and then Bradshaw hits the clothesline from hell, getting the victory. Both superstars had a C+ in the ring, so that's awesome. And that does it for that match. No worker improvements. We then go to another match. I'd imagine this is after the commercial break. We have a B- and a decent match. Kane defeating Albert when Albert was disqualified after Test ran in and attacked Kane. So the way I'd imagine it happening is Kane's getting ready for like a choke slam, and Test gets in pretty much saying, "No, I'm not going to let you beat my partner." And they just attacks him from behind, and the two, begin to beat him down. B-. So Trish doing good work ringside. Kane and Albert have great chemistry, which that's just awesome. There was apparently no selling shown, or really just a lack of psychology, unfortunately. And Kane with an A as Albert, not Lance Storm. Albert has a C. No skills to improve on. We then move on to our next segment, which stays with the B-. So you can really see how Test and Albert bring down Undertaker and Kane right now. But again, it's just a tag team feud. I'm not necessarily too worried about it. TNA, they continue to beat down on Kane until we have The Undertaker make his way down to the ring. His music plays. He comes racing down on his bike. And he gets in the ring when, he's waiting to get in the ring. I'd imagine, Albert and Tess are sitting there, just waiting for him because, they're not stupid. They heard the bike going off. So they see Taker, but Taker doesn't care. He slides in the ring, and then we have Tess and Albert start beating, stomping down on The Undertaker until Kane gets in, and he starts battling, I guess, Albert. Taker gets back to his feet. He's battling Tess, and the two, the Brothers of Destruction, send Tess and Albert outside of the ring, probably like a clothesline to both of them, and pretty much just start posing for the crowd as, Tess and Albert walk to the back. Tess underperformed, and Albert was very underwhelming. Kane looked good, and The Undertaker came out looking excellent, but again, this segment made this feud lose some heat, unfortunately. So we then go to a B. This is back from commercial break, or I guess, during the commercial break. Come back from a B, and we see The Undertaker. He's cutting a promo on Test and Albert, just pretty much a generic thing saying, those two want to get involved in my match, or get involved in my brother's match, blah, blah, blah. But before they can really continue, here comes Test and Albert. They come rushing in, they blindside the Brothers of Destructions, and the two teams are just starting to brawl in the backstage area, with Test and Albert having the upper hand on The Undertaker and Kane, and they eventually lay the two out and walk away, just mocking them, So they get the upper hand on the Brothers of Destructions. I imagine, just tossing them into the walls, the gated area, all that fun stuff, with The Undertaker and Kane getting a little bit of their own in there as well. So there you have it. They get the crowd hotter, and Taker and Kane looked good. Again, Tess and Albert underperformed, but this did better, so maybe it brought some heat back to it. And Albert is improving in acting. You can't complain. So we then go to a B+. This was probably brought down a little bit by Stephanie, to be honest. But either way, Steve Austin's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring, and he's, back from his vacation. I imagine the announcer saying, Austin had a week off, but he's back, blah, 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 blah. And he gets in the ring, and he takes the mic, and Stone Cold says, "Shut up, I've got something important to say." And then the crowd says, "What?" And Austin goes, "I said I got something important to say." "What? Damn it, don't start with me. The next sumbitch who says what is going to get an ass whooping courtesy of the Texas Rattlesnake." "What? Don't what me. What? Don't what me. What? You guys are lucky Stone Cold has something to say, or else I'd walk and take another week off. Now shut up and let the WWF champion speak." He says, "Triple H, you were right. Stone Cold was watching. I had a pack of Steve Weiss's cracked, and I was watching the war. A lot of people have been asking Stone Cold, what side am I on? Well, Stone Cold ain't on either side. He's on his own side. He's the WWF champion. And I've always said, don't trust the McMahon. And there's a McMahon on the WWF side, and there's a McMahon on the WCW side. Stone Cold ain't a part of that. Hell, even Triple H has a McMahon calling his shots." He says, "Triple H, Stone Cold does not sweat you. SummerSlam, it's going to be a cakewalk. And hold on, let's pull this bad boy up because we have another promo here. And Stone Cold is going to show you that you really aren't that damn good. The only way you'll beat me at SummerSlam is if my back gives out from all the weight that I had to carry when you and I were a tag team champions." And then I'd imagine Triple H's music hits. He takes the mic as he makes his way down to the ring, and he says, "You're a funny guy, Austin, you know that?" And I'd imagine Austin just going, "Yeah, I know." And then Triple H is like, no, you really are. You carried my weight? I think you've got things flipped around, because last I remember that I was the one doing all the work while you took all the credit." And now Triple H is in the ring, and he says, "You see, Austin, you can tell all the jokes you want. You can act like I'm just another guy, but don't you forget that for the past 2 months," again, I'm estimating, I have no idea how long the two-man power trip storyline went on. "For the past 2 months, I've been up and down the road with you, having to listen to your idiotic Texas stories and your horrid singing the country music. I've been in the ring with you as your partner and as your enemy many, many times. I know you like the back of my hand, and I doubt you remember anything about me, considering you're nothing but a drunk." And then I'd imagine Austin just laughs and he says, "A drunk? You're damn right Stone Cold's a drunk. Especially when I had to listen to your dumbass mouth brag about how you're that damn good. Night in and night out, when you were just second place to Stone Cold. You lost your Intercontinental Championship. You're the one who was pinned when we lost the tag team titles. And you're the one who will be pinned at SummerSlam when I stomp a mud hole in your ass." And then I just imagine Triple H and Austin, they start getting into each other's face. They're talking crap, nose to nose, and then they just begin to brawl it out. Lefts and rights, trading blows to each other. Eventually, Austin, Triple H, I'd imagine, going to bounce Austin off the ropes. Austin reverses and tosses Triple H into Stephanie McMahon, who is on the apron. And then Triple H, of course, now worried because he just knocked his wife off the apron. He goes to check on Steph, but before he can do that, Austin turns around, flips him off. Stone Cold Stunner, laying Triple H out in the ring, probably doing the whole in his face, yelling at him before grabbing some beers, drinking some beers, and then pouring one out on Triple H's face as he walks out. That's it. Nothing. Just a quick little brawl. Triple H bumped into Stephanie, and then we had that. So Austin was the real star in this segment as always, but there you have it. Stephanie McMahon did not come out looking good. Well, I'd hope not, because, she got knocked off the apron. So we then go to our main event of the night, nerds and geeks, a B plus, not too bad actually. That's actually a really good. A B plus and a good match. Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle defeating Booker T and Diamond Dallas Page in 12 minutes and 33 seconds when Chris Jericho defeated Booker T with the walls of Jericho, making him tap out, Nerds and Geeks. We also had The Rock run in and attack DDP. So the way I'd see this happening is, we have a great match back and forth. Everyone's looking really good. And then at some point in the match, out runs The Rock. DDP goes after him. The two start brawling. And Rock tosses him into the crowd. The two brawl throughout the crowd while Booker T's like, what the hell, blah, 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 blah. And then I'd imagine Chris Jericho, comes in, hits the, something. He beats up Booker T a little bit before. I wouldn't say he just locks in the, walls of Jericho, because that's not the ending. I would imagine Booker T fighting back still a little bit before Jericho locks in the walls of Jericho, and finally Booker T has no choice but the tap, the thing he said. It doesn't matter, but it did tonight. So there we have, Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler always working extremely well together at the announce table, so that's the main reason why I brought back the King. Jericho and Kurt Angle had great chemistry when teaming together. That's a pretty good, yeah? And Jericho was the highlight. He had an A performance, Angle with the B+, Booker with a B, and Diamond Dallas Page with a B-. So not a bad match. Booker T's improving in technical and performance, and Kurt Angle is improving in performance as well. Very good match, in fact. It might save the show. In fact, I think it did, because that really wasn't the best show in the world. Either way, though, we got a B, increasing our popularity in 6 regions. Not a whole lot, but we didn't lose popularity, so that's all that matters to me. What's this? We have an interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin made a short appearance on national TV last night doing some promo work for the WWF. He did a superb job promoting both himself and wrestling in general in a slick, professional way. There you go, Austin. Thank you. This viewer's been positive, most likely. There we go. Ah, the Miracle Man. I don't know who that is, but he got injured. He's 50 years old. Jesus. Masato Tanaka was fired. Ricky Fuji, Yasuda Sasaki, all fired. Even Tomokazu Morita. Whoever that is. What do we got? Oh, Lord Almighty. Stephanie. Come on. You're killing me, Steph. You're killing me. Jeez. We'll get to that in a second. We have an opinion by Steve Kern. As always, Sean O'Hare just doesn't get it, blah, blah, blah. So Stephanie has now caused rifts or simmering tension with Albert in China, DDP in China, Gerald Briscoe in China, Booker T in China, Charles Robinson, Lita. Oh, wow, Stacy Keibler has a strong dislike of China now. As does William Regal. Rikishi doesn't like China. Mike Chioda's strong dislike of China. Snow. Perry Saturn has a strong dislike. Trish Stratus has simmering tension with China, and this was just Rikishi returned. I knew that already. Jerry Lawler, first night back, he already hates China. Ric Flair's back, hates China. Gregory Helms doesn't like China. Jeff Hardy, Shane McMahon, Chad Patton, Chris Benoit, Lance Storm. Shut up, Dave Taylor. I'm about to really fire your ass. Chuck Palumbo. Stephanie, stop. You're making my backstage so bad. Let me just have her drop the title first. I'm tempted to just do it on an episode of Raw because she's just making it hard. All right, so we had Steve Kern say Sean O'Hare is bad. Chris Jericho says Matt Hardy's turning into a good worker. He's worth getting behind. Thank you. I'll keep an eye on Matt Hardy, Jericho. And Dave Taylor thinks I'm about to fire him. I really am. I have no use for you at all, Dave Taylor. Might bring you up to have Lance Storm beat you. That's about it. Oh, fucking A, dude. I'm even like. What are you mad about? Oh boy, everybody's pissed because of the backstage atmosphere. Everybody's pissed. I'm gonna have to just have her drop it. Oh my god, we're at a 7. Alright, yep. Probably gonna be getting rid of China here shortly. Oh, that's so... Stephanie is the one reason why our backstage is so bad, because she just hates China so friggin' much that now everybody hates China. God damn it. Let's look at our storylines before we end this off. See how everything's doing. That is just irritating, guys. Oh my god, that's so irritating. So before we go to Sunday Night Heat, one of you guys have been asking me to change Sunday Night Heat to just a different night. And we're gonna do that, can we? Are we able to do this? Or am I gonna have to go in to the what's the hell it's called? I don't think I can do it until I can negotiate, right? I'm not sure how to do it, but if it happens, I might just have to go in here. In fact, let's do that real quick, because I can talk to you guys. Oh, Stephanie, you piss me off so much. I can't believe that, dude. She has single-handedly ruined my backstage. Where's contracts? Did I miss it? I did. I don't think this... Yeah, this isn't where I need to be anyway. That's so annoying, though. Like, why she gotta do that? Like, the bitch. She hates her that much. I know I'm just rambling right now, but that really just gets to me. TV shows, that's what we need. Can't. Oh my god, she's such a bitch. Select. What? I can't do it here either? Where do I go? If it's not under contracts and it's not under freaking... Is it just... Is it like... It can't be broadcasters, can it? MTV. No. How the fuck do I do it? Alright, well, I don't know how to do this, Nerds and Geeks, so if one of you guys want to comment below and tell me how to negotiate frigging Sunday Night Heat to where I don't have to book it before SmackDown all the time, then please do. Please do. But as of right now, I mean, is it here? TV controls. Can we do that here? Edit details, maybe. What? Shown on Tuesday? No, it's shown on Sundays, you idiots. Let's film it on... I don't know, Wednesday, I guess. Why the freak not? Save. There we go. Alright, cool. Wednesdays shown Sundays. Is SmackDown? Yeah, this is wrong too, so hold on. Let me fix this, because they're not on Tuesdays. They're taped Tuesdays, shown on Thursdays. Alright. So we fixed that. Never mind. Don't comment. I fixed it. We found out how to do it. Filming SmackDown tonight. How fun. Either way, Nerds and Geeks, I don't have much to say. I'm still a little irritated over China and all that fun stuff. And Stephanie. Either way, Nerds and Geeks, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, and I will see you guys next time. So until then, have a great day.